Yo, what up, y'all? It's the No Level Cap Gaming Show. We're here to do a reacts to the Kinetic Publishing Showcase. If you haven't heard of them before, that is completely understandable. Kinetic Publishing is a new company. They're best known for being the publishing partner for Kinetic Games and Phasmophobia. Uh, they recently popped up with this, and they're ready to show off their slate of games for 2027 and apparently 2028. And you know how it is. We're here to give our reaction to it. We got Terrence Flowers, Devin Butts, Rakeem Beck back. Got Will Coleman back in our midst. Welcome back, Will.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. Life been doing a lot of trials and tribulations on my ass, but I'm here.
Life been life, and I understand. We glad to have you back, bro.
Appreciate you.
All right, man. Let's not waste no time. Let's get into it. It's only 30 minutes. It's a nice little tight 30. I'm excited to see that.
By Ben Starr. 10, 9, 8.
Ben Starr is everywhere.
7, 6.
Shout out Ben Starr. That's my guy.
3, 2.
Him and
1,
Alex
go.
Alex Lee are pretty much like the charismatic voice actors that can not only voice act, but
Hello,
also you could have
I'm
do
Ben Starr.
presentations
Welcome
like
to the
this.
very first Kinetic Publishing Showcase. Kinetic Publishing is a new independent publishing label born from Kinetic Games, created to help exceptional developers bring their games to players around the world. We believe great games can come from anywhere, from debut creators taking their first steps into development, to established independent studios ready to reach even greater heights. What matters is the vision, creativity, and passion. That's the spirit Kinetic Publishing was built to support. And over the next little while, we'll be taking you on a journey around the world to meet the first incredible developers who've joined us. You'll discover new worlds, new stories, new ideas, and the first batch of games we're proud to welcome into the Kinetic Publishing
So
family.
get 5 titles.
These are developers daring to create something special. These are games we believe players everywhere should experience. And this is only the beginning. Let's get started.
I like the vibe of this
First
so
off,
far.
the UK and Contact
Yeah.
Protocol from Cold Zephyr Games.
Okay, art style is very unique.
In Contact
Cat
Protocol, you play as the security officer on the starship Pale Horse. It's a corporate ship carrying miners to Ganymede.
It's basically Papers, Please in space. That's how we describe it to new
Oh.
people. It's more than that, though. Like, we've kind of tried to build on what Lucas Pope kickstarted back when he did Papers, Please.
You'll come across other ships. You won't really know who they are. They will tell you things about them, and based on that, you need to make the decision about not just whether you trust if they are who they say they are, but if they're lying, if you trust them not to fire you, try and kill you.
Maybe they are smuggling, maybe they're hiding something, maybe their data is just wrong. You can choose what to do, you don't have to follow protocol, but you have to make a decision whether to let them pass.
If you decide that you don't trust them, your only recourse is to load a torpedo and fire it, killing everyone on board.
Holy
Well,
shit.
doggone.
All right then. That's murder. Okay.
It's a cerebral game, so there is a lot of like data checking and a lot of doing things right, but also a lot of human decisions. Like, you have to do things that maybe aren't the right or wrong thing to do, and it's up to debate whether it's the right or wrong thing to do. It's kind of what the whole game's built around. How far can you trust a stranger? When you meet these other ships and you're going to pass by, they'll tell you things that sometimes explain the situation but can't be mechanically proven against the data you have. Like, oh, someone back at headquarters messed up our squawk code. We know it's
This is
wrong,
like that. What's that
don't worry
game,
about it.
Will?
But technically, you shouldn't let them pass.
Body
because
Shapers.
It's not correct information. They have to have correct information.
When you see a ship approaching,
no,
they
I'm
will
not
send
human.
you their
Yeah.
information, you will send them yours, you will cross-check their information against solar maps, against your notes, against corporate policy, and intelligence that you've gathered from other ships.
If it's matching, great. If it's not, you have to ask why. If they're missing data, you have to ask for more. All the while,
Man, it's
the other
incredible.
ships
There's an
can see
entire
the
genre of
signals
games
as well.
based
So
around,
it's a possibility
I can't
that
trust
they
these niggas.
escalate.
So you have to prioritize.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Do you
it,
plan checking
dog.
their information? Do you reassure
But they
them
so
of your
interesting, though, when you
identity?
do
Where
see
you
them,
place
and,
your
like,
effort and time?
It's so fun to watch them be played if
Time
you're
is
not
a
down with
significant
trying them
factor.
yourself.
As the other ship approaches, the
It's
distance
kinda like
decreases. They become clearer.
a
in
more
your camera,
simplified
and more
LA
information becomes
noir.
available to you, but their weapons become
Simplified
more
in terms
dangerous.
of
It becomes harder
you
and
obviously
harder
don't
to
have like
avoid
character
getting hit
models
by a
and whatnot
torpedo.
that you're
And
interacting
the
with.
communications delay between you, which at the start acts as a little buffer, giving you thinking time, starts to fade away to nothing.
So I think the core design principle for why we're making a tense game like this and how we're building the tension is the premise that humans don't cope well under cognitive load.
Cognitive load is basically the brain power required to complete a task. In Contact Protocol, we've engineered the game cruelly so that the moment you have to make a moral decision, we have ramped up the cognitive load as much as possible, so you are least able to make a decision that you might be happy with.
That resource is used to make mechanical decisions, but also emotional ones, like moral decisions. So if you're heavily data checking and fact checking stuff, you don't have a lot of.
I see the Star
bandwidth
Trek
to
character
also
at the
do
bottom.
The right thing as a human, and then
Okay, I
like
see
that.
that.
Oh, yeah.
like glitch in the
The,
human brain. That's what Mick it's in love with
Ferengi?
and decided to go make a game about.
Every time you
Yeah,
destroy
Mr.
a ship, you get information about that ship.
Yeah, that-
including the amount of
that's
people
that
on
brace,
board.
yeah.
The game will tell you at the end how many people you ended up killing. You may end up in a situation where another ship has already loaded a torpedo because the situation in the solar system is so threatening based on your actions.
So when you're done with an encounter, you go to the downtime, which is kind of like your personal quarters. It's kind of a
UI almost reminds me a little bit of Citizen
But
Sleeper
that is the point
sometimes.
in which you talk to the other
I can
characters
see
on
that.
your ship.
There's 6 of them. You can sort of figure out who they are and get to know them, maybe make friends and make enemies. And then when all that's done, you go to sleep and a ship comes past, then the game is into the stressful stuff.
In the very first version of the game, we didn't have any downtime components. Players actually found it a little bit torturous because the tension was too much.
Now you got to break this up.
Yeah.
So everything in the game is hand-drawn by me. I really started to find a style that really fit the game of kind of loose, intense brush strokes. I was inspired a lot by Disco Elysium, which I discovered after.
I was just gonna say this game kind
I'm
of
gonna say
reminds
this
me.
Art
kinda
style
has a
definitely
little-
resembles Disco Elysium.
I
I
remember
would say it definitely has a
to
little
bring
bit of
out my
Disco
inner
Elysium in
Disco
it.
Elysium and just make it a little bit more insane.
That's gonna be one of those games gonna be very
It's
influential.
very much based on the look and
Down the
feel of
road.
Alien. All of
Oh,
the
100%.
visuals,
This gonna get a lot of
designers.
people watching
pitches,
it, no
how
doubt about
everything
it.
whirs and clatters.
It's definitely gonna
kind-
hit with some people on
The Alien
Twitch. I ain't
series
gonna
also
lie.
has
It's kind of
this
like
kind
what
of
Hollow
vibe
Knight is
that
to
comes with it, which we
Metroidvanias,
also
where
really
you have
wanted
so
to
many
Yeah.
capture and bring into the
chasing after that
experience of the
aesthetic.
player, so that everything feels
Yeah.
used and old and a bit disgusting.
This is gonna probably hit almost the same way, maybe even a little bit better than what know about a
I'm
human.
excited to see people deal with the consequences of their actions. The game's designed so that everything you do is remembered. You will affect your crew. You'll make friends with some of them and enemies with some of them, and you will blow up ships that maybe you didn't mean to because you were under that high stress. Like, I really want to see people struggle with that. That's the fun part when people play test it. They're like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't know what I was doing.
We've got a demo up on Steam now. We've been really excited
Nice.
by
Oh,
different
fire.
things players
That's
have done
what you
in
wanna
that
hear.
Demo, decisions they've made. We're really excited to see what decisions you make. So head on to Steam now and check it out.
That's cool.
That is
Gets
the
me in
best.
the mood for some sci-fi too.
Yeah, that is the best way to
Contact-
take advantage of this kind of
Contact
spotlight.
Protocol will
Is
be the very first
have a
Yeah.
demo
launched
out
by
so you
Kinetic
can get
Publishing,
people like
set to arrive in spring
checking it out.
2027.
Immediately.
Yeah.
They
Exactly.
ain't got release time frame. That's fire.
You
Yeah, I
can
see
try the
that.
free demo
Good
available
job.
now on Steam. Just be careful who you pass in the space lanes.
Yeah.
Staying in the UK, it's time to grab your motor broom and discover what it means to find home. Here's Crescent County from Electric Saint.
Huh. Like a magic
So in
broom.
Crescent County, you play
Yeah,
as Luke.
like a magic
You
room, but I
move
can't lie
to
the way
Isle
it
of
looks.
Moor under
It kind of has like
mysterious
a slight
circumstances,
Fortnite vibe in a way,
and
almost.
You fall in with a group of motor broom riders.
Yeah, I can
after
see
you
that.
take
Kind of remind me of that
Crescent
game that you
Broom
was
out for a
on
spin,
that bike.
and it breaks. So you need to earn some money, right? So you start
like-
making
I
deliveries
can't remember
by
the name of that
day,
game.
and you're street racing your new friends and crushes by night on a witch tech
We racing? Okay,
rural
well, man.
island, kind of set in the UK, but if it was magic. It's a game that's inspired very much by Kiki's delivery
shit.
service, but
Ah.
Kiki's delivery service kind of had the
I kinda
vibes of
figured.
Akira. It's
Yeah.
stylized, it's painterly, it's full of heart, it's based off my illustrations, and it's
You're
all
not happening
about
to talk about Dungeons of
finding a place
Hiltonburg,
and
are you,
what it
Devin?
means to find home.
No, not that one. The art style counter, but that was a game.
Is very
She's just
much
like on a
things
bicycle.
that you do hang out with your friends. It's not time.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's not
Yeah, it was
leaderboards. It's something.
just ride on the bike.
It is very much inspired by my background in roller skating
I know
and the
what you're
culture
talking
of roller
about, but I
derby.
cannot remember
You
the
can
name
be
of it, but I know what you're
competitive,
talking
but also when you're just skating with your friends, everyone wants to have
Vroom,
fun
vroom.
when you're doing this. That's something that from the top we really wanted to make sure was coming through. It's a subculture, it's something that people are passionate about. And we also want it to feel approachable. You're getting off the broom, you're exploring an island, you're making deliveries, you jump back on the broom.
What is that
your
run
friends are
animation?
like, hey, do you want to have a race? It's about hanging out.
Trying to make
and
sure
She
she
did-
don't drop the
she
package.
did leg day.
having some really high octane gameplay. Crunchy, drifting, going through boosts, gliding, and
Well, that could
jumping
be
off
fun.
of like really big cliffs.
This is
Probably
all
cool.
going to come down to how it
Great
feels
fun,
to
and
race,
I want
to do races.
make sure that people are getting
Oh,
a
yeah.
good amount of
Like all that other
racing
stuff is
there
cool
too.
and it will add personality to the game, but everything's going to come down to how it feels to
One of my
actually
big
race on that broom.
inspirations for quest design and the varying tone of the different things that you're going to be doing is actually Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I've been consumed by that game, but I absolutely adore how it will subvert your expectations even when you have a really simple job that you need to tackle. There's always something weird that ends up happening to Henry, and that's a really big inspiration for how we're approaching quests. For example, you might be asked to take a parcel of records from one person to another, but actually it's because they're going through a breakup and they change their mind mid-delivery and say, you know what, chuck those records in a pond. So the romances within Crescent County happen alongside all of the action. I grew up playing Dragon Age, and it's something that I think just makes them even more juicy and fun when you've got romances occurring alongside all sorts of like crunchy gameplay.
BioWare say romance up in RPGs to the point where people
I'm
be
an
like, if it ain't got romance, don't even want to play.
artist. That's, you know, my bread and butter.
Which is
within
interesting
the games
'cause I feel like a lot of
and I just got
that style of
completely obsessed
RPG
with this
doesn't do
idea
romance
of
anymore.
Witch tech. I was really drawn.
A lot,
to
some of them, yeah.
creating this
I mean, some
bright,
studios like
stylized
Obsidian, they just
world
aren't going to do that.
that people
Yep.
could get
And they made it clear they're not gonna
but
do that.
Also grounding it
You know,
in
it's
magical
interesting.
realism and
For people,
my
it
own
was
lived
Dragon
experience.
Age, but for me,
I
it was
moved to
Persona
the Isle of
3
Wight
that really
for my
got me
first
into the
games
idea
job,
of like
and
forming
it was a really
relationships
formative
and
experience. That sense of
leveling them
getting
up,
to
so
know
to
a place
speak.
deeply and
Absolutely.
building these memories and these.
I mean,
different,
Persona 3 definitely
parts of
inspired a
town.
ton of
It's
games.
a time that I look back on really, really warmly, and I wanted
Shit,
to.
Trail's been copying
explore
Persona's
that, you know,
social sim
within
shit
a
for
video
years
game,
now.
but, you know, with
They still are.
cool,
Yes.
fancy motorbike brooms.
Okay, so you could customize the bike.
I started Electric Saint
All right, I
with
like
my friend
that.
Pavle back in 2022 with the goal of making Crescent County a reality. So we announced the game in 2024 to amazing reception. People were really excited. We got fan art. We got to start building.
I feel
our
like I saw this at
community.
some point,
With
but I'm
that
not
in
sure.
mind, we ramped up to our Kickstarter in 2025. It was just such a wonderful moment of
Oh, fun in
the
one
community
day.
coming together. I am eternally
amazing.
grateful to our
Yeah,
Kickstarter
you must be
backers
looking really
for
forward to
giving us
this.
the permission and opportunity.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I
Playing
noticed
the
this
game.
So the team
Madoka
working on
cosplay.
Crescent County is
Yeah.
pretty tiny. It's about 5 to 7 of us. It's a small team, but it's a very, very passionate team.
Man, independent studios, boy, they
Underground Motor Room Street Racing.
That's salt of the earth right there.
Please follow
Man.
us
I
on
promise you,
social
dog.
media.
When I
Link
tell
in the
you,
little
bro, that's
intro
all
and
heart,
on-
all
and
tenacity to
Crescent
get it
County
done.
Wishlist on Steam.
I love it.
them folks will be like, yeah, I quit my job, I ain't got no money, but we making this game though. Like,
We gonna figure it
Summer
out.
2027.
That's off to you.
Adventure.
we gonna get it
Wishlist the
together.
game now and get ready to ride off into the sunset with us when Crescent County launches in summer 2027. All right,
That was neat.
now from the UK to Germany.
Kind of cool.
Time to meet the Fake Lobster team and introduce you to Shellbound.
Shellbound.
We were just talking about
We were just talking about
Hollow
it.
Knight, and
Hollow Lobster.
Shellbound.
Shellbound is a Metroidvania on a big-ass snail. And you're a parasite in that world that can control enemies
Okay.
and use their abilities for combat, platforming, and exploration.
And puzzles.
And puzzles.
That looks and feels
So the game
like
is set on a big-ass snail
Hollow
because
Knight.
we always knew this
Yep.
marketing phrase of a living world. We thought, okay, our game should really be a literally living world. And also, a big-ass turtle was already taken, so it is
Same
a
as
snail.
elephants, same as
That's-
elephants.
That's true. And also, snails are just weird and awesome. We love them.
One Piece. Yeah, they
We are
did that.
literally on a living creature that moves around, that has a heartbeat, that breathes, and every single instance of this biology of the snail also affects the gameplay that we are trying to achieve.
For instance, the giant heart. There's a big machine built around that heart that actually transfers that heartbeat into electric energy. And there's a point where you can actually control that heart and therefore control the electricity on the snail.
Wow. You really are a parasite.
Disclaimer we absolutely have to address right now is the art style, because everything you see in the video is still a work in progress. So what we are doing right now is actually a complete revamp of the art style that we feel tells the story and therefore represents the game in
that looks completely different.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for real.
I like this a lot better.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah,
Feels more original because like the other one was like,
to say, hey,
man, this
we
is
wanna
straight
make
up
a game.
Hollow
First
Knight.
initial idea, let's do a Metroidvania, and there was never another option for us because that was just the games we grew up with playing the most.
We love Metroidvanias, but there are always some aspects that actually annoyed us, like backtracking in a way, and we just want to improve on that and just create a Metroidvania that we really want to play. So one mechanic that really changes the Metroidvania formula is our parasitizing system. You're a parasite, that means you can infest and control enemies and use their abilities. And you can use that for basically everything. For combat, platforming, for exploration, puzzle solving, for everything. And this really does two things. You don't have just the classics like double jump and dash and whatever. You have all the abilities of the enemies as well. And the second thing is we are
like Mega Man.
solving strict ability games.
kind of like
Because a
Mario
lot of
Odyssey.
Metroidvanias have that really that
Yeah, but I was thinking
There's multiple games that have done that
and in
now.
our
Yeah.
case, you can really circumvent ability gating by using the abilities of the enemies.
Build a little bit of sequence breaking maybe in this.
Yeah, intentional and unintentional.
Exactly. Another system that directly ties into the parasitizing system is our enemy evolution system. For every single enemy type that you encounter in the game, if you kill enough instances of that one enemy type, they will evolve into a stronger and potentially even completely different kind of enemy type. For instance, we have a maggot enemy type in there, which like doesn't do anything. It wiggles around, maybe attacks you, jumps down on you. But if you kill that certain enemy type enough of times, eventually every single instance will evolve into a different form. In this case, a flying enemy.
I've actually never heard of that
now you
before.
have completely new abilities when it comes to parasites.
That's kinda cool.
Now you can go
Like reverse
into the
Pokemon.
flying enemy and see, okay, what areas can
Yeah,
I
reverse
explore? What
Pokemon.
attacks can I use? Are there different kinds of puzzle that I maybe can solve that I couldn't because I just had that maggot?
So on top of all these mechanics, we also have the biome evolution, and that really brings everything together. Whole biomes can change over time through story progression, but also through your actions. And one example for that would be the Mucus Garden. The Mucus Garden is a vibrant jungle-like biome, really lush, really full of life, but it can go completely dead and barren. It's not only looking different, but also the whole structure changes.
Wow.
The areas you can go to. And with that, we actually get rid of stale and boring backtracking, because backtracking in our game always brings you something new. Yeah, you go to a biome you already have been through 10 times, but this time the whole biome has changed, the enemies have changed through enemy evolution, the whole thing is really new, and backtracking actually gets fun.
Interesting.
That's kind of similar to the message. A little
We
bit.
created that bonkers idea of a world on a snail with only 3 people, but the crazy thing is we found along the way other weird people who actually believe that this bonkers idea could make a great game and really work out in the end. So right now we are
9 weird people making a build game on a bigger snail.
Yeah. We are really excited to ramp up production.
You know, the
on
art
Shellbound.
style in
if you
some
wanna know
ways
more about
reminds
what's
me of,
happening
and
on
this
this
is
big-ass snail,
a
follow
deep
and
cut,
join
is
us on
a
Discord and on
Dusk and
Steam.
Elysian
Please, Tom,
Tale.
bless you,
Dusk
my dear. Thank you.
and Elysian Tale.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yes.
remember that game.
Yeah. But since they're
I
changing
played
the
that.
art style, it,
Fake lobster. You had me
Yeah.
from
Oh wow, that's
Okay.
that's a ways off.
Snail.
Yes.
Shellbound
Work
is
hard on it. Get it good.
2028.
yeah.
Well, I consider revamping the entire art style. Yeah, it probably should be a ways off.
Yeah.
They still have some frames that were missing too, with that little down thing. Like it was just like a shell of the his body. You didn't see any details.
Aether, Wizard Life. Man, Wizard Life Sims getting really popular.
Simulation game where every wizard having.
That's one of those where you thought you came up with something original, and then at the same time, a whole bunch of people tried doing the same thing.
The game itself
It's like,
has
damn it.
dual dynamics between the
But I do like this because
simulations
it's like
and also adventure
half,
combat in the game.
cozy
So
game,
each morning when players
half
wake
what
up
looks to be
in
like a
their beds in their
Metroidvania type.
castles,
they get to see.
It reminds me of
along the way.
Terraria almost, but with like wizards.
I like the flight.
Run the tavern, did other wizard.
You know, I think it took so long for that Harry Potter game to come out that a lot of people just ended up wanting to make their own version of that.
That makes sense.
And, well, we're finally seeing those start to show themselves.
Yeah, look how long it took for Witchbrook to even come as far as it has. It doesn't have a release date yet.
Yeah. Ongoing from the past, and that is kind of like similar to what happens in our game. There are like ongoing kidnapping of wizards to burn them and then strip off their power and then return the wizard back to the town without spirits. Players need to find out who is behind the event of the wizard burning that is ongoing in the town of Starfall.
I do like the way this
My
looks.
favorite part would be to build the castle and that
Same.
you lived in.
This looks amazing.
Like there are lots of ruins there. The players can use their spells and their magic to rebuild the whole place.
It has like
now it's like Howl's Moving Castle.
Like the
Yeah,
and then you
it has like a
design
children's
the whole farms on your
storybook
own.
look to it that I
We have the
dig.
grid system.
Yeah.
That players can design the whole layout of where to put the buildings surrounding the castle itself. For example, you can build lots of fields, you
shit,
can build
okay.
stables to care for your exotic magical creatures.
The fresh cut.
I think I would say it's about interacting with the spirits for each NPCs. When you see like the characters in the game, you're going to see that each wizard has their own spirits. And that's how we design the game to be quite unique. And like these spirits represents their magic that they have, like the specialty, the mastery of the magic that they have. As a player, you get to forage a lot of items. For example, when you go into the dungeons and you can like pick up the mandrakes, you collect like slimes from the cave itself. There's like a potion shop in the center of the town, and that's like how you earn a lot of money from. Cassandra, she's like the witch who like run this potion shop. The customer might come in and like they have a personal problem in their dating life and they need a potion, like for example, love potion. We can just collaborate with Cassandra to come up with that potion and sell to her. We love the aspect of tavern. This guy, his name is Orwell. He's like kind of like a Viking wizard. He obsessed with the elements of the monsters and turned them into delicious meals. Like he cooked the weird menu like a capybara steak.
You know,
or like
something this is also kind of reminding me a little bit of is Odin's
enjoy
Spear.
discovering each of the new dishes.
Like
art style wise.
Yeah, with the food.
Oh, the food, definitely.
The food, yes, more so the food and the way some of the 2D sections work when you're fighting.
All the animations, not just how
You just reminded me I got that down here in the damn box.
Oh, there we go.
Totoro as well. So we kind of like want to
About a
build a game that
little
has
Maple
this
Story.
We love cozy games, so titles definitely Stardew Valley inspired us. Day of the Diver and Spiritfarer. When I first played Day of the Diver, I spent like days playing without breaking. Like it's really, really addictive. As for Spiritfarer, we really like the connection that players can feel with the NPCs they have. That's what we try to capture in the game. We spent years trying to come up with this type of art direction that we have right now. If you go back to see our Kickstarter campaign, you're going to see a lot of artworks in there. It's look totally different from what we have right now. We kind of want to make sure that like all the pieces in the games are hand-drawn by our artists. And so we're really proud of the art style that we have right now, because when we see that it's really different from other games that we have seen in the market.
Yeah, it
That
definitely
hand-drawn style, it adds a certain charm to it.
For sure. Game who launched Kickstarter campaign from Thailand. We hope to set a good example for Thai developers that you can release a title that can resonate with the global audience as well. After
Somebody else getting to another country, putting game dev on the map.
That's what I'm saying, dog.
It's global now, man.
I'm all for it. I want to see y'all.
As long as the game good, that's all that matters.
Play the game that are heavily inspired by Studio Ghibli's animation, and those who like cozy games where you can sit back and relax. We enjoy this game very much.
Aether Wizard Live is on Steam. Please go wishlist now.
No, I'll go do that. Just to support them, I'll give them a wish list.
Aether Wizard Live.
Also set for
Autumn
2028
2028.
launch,
Okay.
and will be a cozy
Alright,
adventure
they
that's
work.
well worth the wait.
Yeah, they working.
Finally, from Thailand to the USA, It's time to introduce the next game from Sam Barlow and his award-winning studio,
Oh shit!
Half Mermaid.
Didn't they do Immortality? Was that the game?
Precognition.
Precognition is a sci-fi horror project coming to you from the minds of Sam Barlow and Brandon.
Sage is checked out and Devin is checked in.
Well, no, I was looking to see. I was like, Sam Barlow worked on Immortality. I wanted to make sure, and yeah, he did.
Receiving visions.
That was a beloved game when it came out.
Making a game like Precognition has been a natural evolution of what we did on Immortality, but we've really been trying to test the limits of non-linear storytelling.
Oh, I remember Immortality now.
We have a real focus on the game feel and player agency and freedom. So in Immortality, we have this magical match cut feature. So it allowed you to almost put together your own film and create this narrative where you jump from point to point. You're jumping around time and space, finding these connections.
The same magic that powers this lens can also grant you what you wish.
If you sit someone down to play one of our games, within the first few minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, everyone is off in a different direction. And with Precognition, we want to kind of take that to the next level. From the very beginning, you are seeing through Diana's eyes. And then once the experiment begins and Diana starts receiving these visions, which for her, she essentially organizes as memories, right? These are memories of the future she hasn't yet lived. She is able to experience this vision and then focus and concentrate on a moment and commit that to memory. And immediately on doing that, the future changes.
If you're not familiar with our previous games, Immortality, Sam's game Her Story, Telling Lies, this might look very different from what you expect of a video game. You might have a notebook on your desk as you're playing, you might be furiously trying to cross-examine clips and understand what am I really seeing and what am I missing. That really is the experience of playing something like Precognition.
My name is Brandon Cronenberg. I'm a primarily horror film director. I've made 3 feature films, Antiviral, Possessor, and Infinity Pool. And I'm the filmmaker outsider who was brought in kind of for fun to collaborate on the writing. So
I saw. I remember that one.
With Sam and his team on the story, and I wrote some of the scenes.
With us wanting to kind of plant a flag in this being like a really pure sci-fi horror, we were like, who
all those films are very interesting.
Would be a good collaborator for this? And so we kind of did this process of speed dating horror directors. And I think Brandon was the one who, straight out the gate, we sparked with. He'd already played Her Story and Immortality, so he kind of understood the games.
Horror films I have made up to this point tend to be very subjective. You know, they're very experiential, where you're really rooted in one character's perspective. And that's part of the experience of the horror. The world is warping, and it's warping dependent on their psychology, and so it kind of slotted neatly into this game because, again, it's a very subjective experience.
We've proven that there is an appetite for these things that are a bit more complex, a bit darker, a bit stranger, but also the idea of it's always about the freedom that you as a player have to explore the story, to feel like you're making the story happen in a way that's unique to you, have that be the mission statement.
To keep up to date with Precognition, follow us on Blue Sky at halfmermaid.co.
This has to be a long way off.
Wishlist the game on
they ain't got
They
no
ain't show the
footage to
game
show,
at all.
yeah.
At all.
No.
We got eyeball. We gonna eyeball it.
Yeah.
Half Mermaid
Well, spring
and Brandon
2028.
Cronenberg are collaborating to bring
Earlier than I thought.
Precognition to players in spring 2020.
I mean, I guess they probably just have to film
5 incredible games, 5 talented
to film the
independent
footage
developers,
and, I
all
guess, just put it
creating
all together.
amazing experiences and worlds. Each of the games you saw today are currently available to wishlist. Just scan the QR code on screen now to do so. You can also stay up to date with all the games we showed today and more by heading to the Kinetic Publishing website. I've been self-professed lover of indie games, Ben Starr.
The logo
This was
reminds
the
me of
first ever
a
Kinetic
Ravens
Publishing
logo.
Showcase.
Ravens
Thank you for
Studios.
joining us.
All right, that was the Kinetic Games Showcase.
Okay.
All right.
Nice, solid 30 minutes, 5 video games. They had dates for us, everything. Devin, what'd you think of the show, man?
This was definitely 5 unique games. I'll definitely say that. The last game was pretty interesting, seeing like horror and sci-fi, and actually have a director that's done some movies that I've seen before, especially Possessor. That was a pretty interesting movie. So I think that alone is kind of piquing my interest just to see how they do it, because it looks like an evolution of what's the old game? Night Terror. Like this style of game, which not like it's using actual people and stuff like that. It seems like an evolution on like those types of games. So that'll be interesting to see. I know I love Metroidvania, so seeing them work on a new Metroidvania style game on a giant snail, that's got my interest peaked already. So
yeah,
that one looked interesting. Also, them saying that they're revamping the art style is really dope. So I'm really curious to see what that'll look like once they finally get their vision fully realized. And what was the game with the on the brooms?
Crescent County.
Crescent County.
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah,
I guess they both technically have brooms.
yeah, that one looks cool. I love racing games. So anytime I see something with that lets me race against other people, had ramps and stuff, looked like you would like shooting off in the sky, like to some Pilot Wings type gameplay, maybe a little bit. The broom actually kind of reminded me of the Jack and Daxter little what was those little things? They weren't jetpacks, they were like hover bikes, like those little hover bikes. Kind of put me in the mindset of that. So that one definitely looked interesting. So this is a small group of games, showing stuff they're starting off with. But I think there's definitely a lot of variety here, a lot of unique stuff. Also, I want to know what the cat's about, because he kept showing the cat a lot. Yeah, I think it's a solid show for them starting off. This is definitely a batch of unique games. So I think they got something good here for a start.
Okay. Rakeem, what do you think?
Yeah. So this was a great showcase to show that this publisher is kind of showing their identity with these games. Like, they are definitely going for games that are outside the box. They're going for games that are they're not going for like the big casual games here. They're going for games that they think are just really interesting, and they're so complex that they still can find an audience. I think there's a good variety of games here. They're all far off, obviously. I mean, some were so early, they were still showing like the game was incomplete on the screen. So we're showing this is really early publishing. But it is fun to kind of see games so early in development, to see what they turn into down the line, to see if they make it. Because we see these big AAA projects 5 years and sometimes don't even come out. So I'm rooting for the small indie projects to be able to make their dates, because I know it's going to be way harder and they don't have the access to the same level of resources. For me, the games that stood out, that Wizard game, Aether, that game was like, that was for me. I was like, I've been looking for a Wizard game that's kind of indie, that mixes like the cozy, but doesn't skimp on the combat, which is, I'm like, I want to be a wizard. I want to fight some. I want to slang some spells. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I got fire and earth and wind, and I'm just throwing it at a stove. I'm good. I want to fight some. You know what I'm saying? So I saw a nice combination of things here. They had elements of like the cozy game. They had cool combat stuff, social interactions. And that's kind of why I've been kind of looking for a game like that lately, that mixes those things. I thought Witchbrook would be that game for me, maybe, but heck, we don't know when that's coming out. That game really stood out to me. The game on the
snail,
the snail definitely stood out to me, because that game, that one stood out because obviously it took the inspiration from Hollow Knight, as so many games have now, but the fact that they're innovating on top of that, like a lot of these games that are inspired by Hollow Knight or Dark Souls, sometimes they just take the formula and just do it, and that's it. These guys actually took time to introduce new systems that are interesting. The biomes changing around you, the enemies evolving as you fight them. Reminds me of that multiplayer game Evolve from back in the day, when you had the asynchronous multiplayer and one player would be the monster, but he could go away and then evolve and become stronger, and you have to kill him before he gets to that point. But the fact that they thought about that that like, hey, there are some pitfalls of Metroidvanias we don't like backtracking. If we do backtrack, let's make it interesting where you have newer enemies, the levels are going to change slightly, you have access to more abilities, so now there's more variability in the gameplay. I really like that. Now that game scene is very early because they said they were about to change the art style. Clearly you can tell by the animations, a lot of the animations are unfinished. But what I saw here, even with all that, looked pretty promising. So that game really stands out to me too. I really like that one. The other games that like I can't really give that last game we saw. I can't really give an opinion on. We didn't see it.
We didn't see anything.
Ain't nothing to talk about. I mean, hey, we made cool games like Immortality. You played Immortality, right? I mean, I hadn't personally, but I've heard of it. Yeah, but Immortality is like that, but different. I was like, okay, cool. But when you got something to show me,
ton of footage for Immortality.
Saying like they want you to play Immortality. I mean, if you want me to play Immortality first, that's fine. I'll play your new game about 4 years, you know. But yeah, overall, I like the showcase. It was very different. But it wasn't boring because that's the one thing about some of these showcases we've watched. And we've watched a lot of them on this podcast. If you are watching this podcast right now and you're new, go back through our old VODs. We watched a ton of showcases over the years. And this one wasn't boring, even though like sometimes you go into like certain showcases, the games would be kind of samey. These had a large variety of games. We didn't just see all cozy or all horror. You know what I'm saying? So now because they had so much variety, it kept my attention the whole time. And now I'm looking at like, mechanically what they're trying to do, the influences they have. Clearly a lot of influences from like anime movies like Kiki's Delivery Service, for example, and Howl's Moving Castle. So yeah, overall, I really like this. I think it's interesting. I know this isn't going to be for everyone, and that kind of is the point to me. I think this is the type of games we're looking at. We want games that are like outside the box kind of thinking, kind of doing their own thing with smaller teams to kind of bring them up and showcase these games and their cool ideas. And I think it succeeded in that. Although that last game, Premonition, they could have showed a little bit more like in another game and then talk about the game. But other than that, everything was fine.
Okay. Also, Precognition.
Oh, Precognition.
Oh,
but I mean,
exactly.
Very similar words. Yeah, I thought I was thinking the same thing. I was like, dang, this man got the name wrong because they ain't show nothing.
They ain't show nothing.
Will, what about you, man? What'd you think of the show?
I'm definitely on the same boat as Devin with this. This is a very interesting show for a very first show. And I'm just like, okay, this ain't half bad. And they only showed so little, and within that 30 minutes they did well enough to show me everything I need to see, everything I would like to see, and enough information for me to know about what I could possibly find myself getting into. And best part about it, at least in my opinion, flat out, is that there's a lot of release windows. Yes, they are a ways off, but that's a good thing in my opinion, especially in the case of something like Shellbound, where they said they were going to revamp the art style. That is really cool to see that, because because some people won't say they're doing it, with our bigger studios and whatnot. They won't say what's wrong sometimes. They'll just be like, hey, we're just going to push it back, but we won't know what's really the issue here. Or it'll just be, we're going back this far. We're doing this, we're doing that. Or in the case of Capcom, we pushing it up. But, yeah, with this here, I enjoyed it. This is something I definitely wouldn't mind showing to people because of the different games they show, such as Aether right here, which I think looks pretty cool. Shellbound is definitely in my wheelhouse because I definitely love me a good Metroidvania. I got a whole Steam list full of Metroidvanias that I need to finish and play.
It never ends, bro. It's an endless genre.
It's an endless genre, but I like it because I always find something interesting in each one of them that makes me enjoy them. Things like Crescent County, I like that one a lot. Like I said, it gave like a little slight Fortnite vibe with the way it looked when they were on the broom riding around, but it just seems like it has something more to it that I think I'll try to keep my eye out for it. And I want to say it right, Precognition, because I wanted to say it right because I almost said it the wrong way right then and there. That's why I stopped myself. That right there, despite the fact that we didn't see much, like I said, don't really have much of an opinion on it, but I can't wait to see what they got going forward, especially with having, actual horror movie director in line. I've never seen their movies, but now I'm interested in going to see what they got and watch those. I'll go and pull them up later and see what they talk about. So, but 5 interesting games got us in and out, got us some release windows, and I love their presentation as well. I love that globe presentation to show where everyone is on the map. Please keep that for the next. Please keep that for the next one, so that way we know where they coming from and what they doing. That's really cool to see. So I like this show. Very solid show, and I hope they do another one that's just as good.
Y'all brought it up. Well, Will brought it up just now, and it made me think. That was Brandon Cronenberg, right? Like, his dad is a horror movie director, right?
Is that because when I heard that last name,
Brandon
I was
or
like,
David?
like,
No. Or is it David? That's his dad. Because I know you're talking about the Cronenberg. Like the Cronenberg name is very famous. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
David Cronenberg.
Yeah. Okay, he did The Fly.
Yeah.
I was about to say he did.
Yeah, Cronenberg. When I saw the name, I was like, that's not like the original Cronenberg. That's not like the Fly Cronenberg, but maybe it's like his son, relative, or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess
that is definitely his son.
Scary shit running a family, man. Sometimes it's like that.
Yeah, and all those movies. Infinity Pool was a very good movie. I forgot what the other two he mentioned were, but no, his catalog is
Possessor and I forgot the other one.
Antiviral.
Yeah,
I don't know about Antiviral. Possessor, I believe people like that. I haven't seen it, but yeah, they brought a big name with him, so I think.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll wait till I get to my thoughts. So before saying anything.
I mean, you're up, bro.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll just continue with Precognition. That I think really the highlight of that was just the fact they got such a big name director on board, and I think that'll be enough to convince people like, oh, this is going to be something to keep an eye on. Now, yeah, it would have been nice to see a little something, but since that game is 2028, it looks like they're still going to have to film the footage and then, of course, put it together in a game format. And from there, maybe next time we see the game, then they'll have something to actually show us. I wasn't familiar with I've heard of the name Immortality, but I haven't seen gameplay myself or played it, so I'm not familiar with how it works. It looked interesting, so if anything, seeing that, I want to look more into it. But the showcase overall, I quite like this. Like you all have said, they had a lot of variety here, and I think that was one of the big positives is they had something that I feel could appeal to not everyone, but there's enough niches going on here that you're covering a lot of ground. I'll put it that way. With Contact Protocol, you're having, like we talked about, those kind of games where it's like guessing is this person a friend or a foe, those type of games. Crescent County, you had more like the cozy / Mario Kart-esque kind of game. Shellbound, your Metroidvania. Aether, Wizard Life, more like a RPG in a sense, or like a 2D RPG. And with Precognition, you have, I guess, a film as a game, pretty much. So yeah, I mean, a lot of those, though, all those ideas are very different from one another. And for this being their first showcase, I think that they did a very good job with it. I think that this is something I do want to see every year from now on. Like if they can keep the quality to this degree, or whenever they have something to show. Maybe they won't have something to show every single year, but when they do have multiple games to show, then it'd be nice to, see this showcase. But yeah, I liked everything here. It got in, it got out. It did not waste our time. They didn't linger on one particular game longer than another. I was engaged from beginning to the end. I say the game that stood out to me the most was Aether Wizard Life. It looked the most polished. Like the backgrounds in that game, they looked very impressive. And it did remind me of Odin Spear and how it has that fairy tale hand-drawn look to it. And the footage that we were looking at while other people were talking, with some of the boss battles that they briefly showed, that looked very interesting too. It just looked very polished. For it being 2 years off, it looked like it had a lot going on already. And with 2 more years of polish, that game is going to be something, I think. Shellbound looks really good too, but I really want to see what it looks like when they have this new art style.
Agreed.
Because the art style they have now, I will admit, it looks very Flash-esque. Like it has like a.
It looks like lower budget Hollow Knight.
Yeah. It kind of like, for some reason, it kind of just reminds me of kind of like Alien Hominid in a sense, just where it is hand drawn, but it's not as like crisp looking as like a Hollow Knight or some of the more like hand drawn Metroidvanias. But when it has that new art style, I definitely want to give it another look. The other games were interesting too. They just weren't ones that would necessarily be in my wheelhouse. So yeah, Shellbound and Aether Wizard Life, they'd be the ones that I'll keep an eye out on. But yeah, overall, I really like this showcase. I think that this was a great display for this being their first one. I think that this was a great start. I'll put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I fall along. I fall in line with y'all. I think I like the fact. No, I know I like the fact that there's only 5 games here. Like we so often we watch showcases. We definitely watched a lot of showcases during the summer. At the top of the summer, we watched a lot of showcases where it was just like, hey, here's 45 video games, and maybe you like 10 of them, but you're probably gonna remember about 3. And this is like, nope, it's just 5, brother. Like it's 5 games. And one of the things like that people have been critiquing about modern game showcases versus like early 2010s, mid 2010s is that a lot of showcases, they're just straight up ads. There's no time for the art for like the developers to talk about their game, to actually put the art in there. And it's hard to do that when you have 45, 50 games, 60 games. It's a lot easier when it's just 5 games and it's like, hey, here's these developers. This is their story. This is what it took for them to get to this point to develop their games. This is where they come from. This is what they believe in. The design ethos and all of the things that went into making this game. Like that's some of the passion that has been missing from video games. And one of the things that's worth thinking about as we look at an AI apocalypse, you know what I'm saying? And it's like everything's focused on content is that you do need to look at the people behind everything and see, okay, what is the heart of this art that's being made? And, these guys, they showed us that. They showed us the heart each time. You have people that they had Kickstarters, or you had a team from Thailand and they're like, we want to be the first big game from Thailand that people think about and remember. And I'm sticking with that. Like the Wizard Life, Aether Wizard Life, I'm hyped for that just like y'all were. I'm also excited to check out Crescent County. I think that, it was cool that they had, I won't say that there was something for everyone, because for you to pull that off, you kind of do have to have like the 60 games at one time type of thing.
Yeah.
But if you have a lot of different interests as someone that plays video games, you probably saw something here that piqued your interest and you can come back to it. And I don't know if they'll be able to do this every year, but I like the idea of them coming back periodically and being just this really down-to-earth focused thing where everybody gets 3 to 5 minutes and we talk about like, okay, this is, this team in this part of the world. This is this team in this part of the world. And, even if I imagine next year they'll probably come back. If they do this again, I imagine it would just be showing, what the progress report is on a lot of these games, because they are, it's been a while. Like it's a lot of times now, everything that's coming, you find out about, and it's like, yeah, it's coming in 6 months. Like very few games, like especially now, everybody's kind of quiet. Especially like they were bold to show like release dates. Like nobody wants to talk release dates no more. Like Sony will hold out to the last few minutes to be like, man, we're not telling nobody no release date until like a month before or 3 months before. It's like, okay, they're like, hey man, they're calling their shot, and I respect it. It's spring 2027, fall 2020, autumn 2028. Like I respect the hell out of that. So that's very cool. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I'm glad that we took the time to check this out, and I hope to see them again in the near future.
Oh yeah.
All right, that was our reaction to the Kinetic Publishing Showcase for this year. We will see you guys on the next stream. I hope you enjoyed this one. Y'all let us know what game stood out to you the most. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.